Okay, for science today, we're doing plant studies. We're doing the forest habitats. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the story Red Riding Hood first. Then we're going to do one of the activities. And then I'm going to read the book Forest, and we'll do the last two activities. After that, we're going to watch the video Forest Full of Life, answer the questions on it. And then to end our science lesson, we're going to go over the draw and write activity, and I'm going to show you what I did on my own. So let's get started.
Red Riding Hood. A long time ago, in a simple cottage beside the deep dark woods, there lived a pretty child called Red Riding Hood. She was kind and considerate, and everybody loved her. One afternoon, Red Riding Hood's mother called to her. "Granny isn't feeling up to snuff today, so I've baked her favorite custard as a little surprise. Be a good girl and take it to her, will you?" Red Riding Hood was delighted. She loved going to Granny's, even though it meant crossing the deep, dark woods. When the custard had cooled, Red Riding Hood's mother wrapped it up and put it in a basket. "Now whatever you do, go straight to Granny's. Do not tarry. Do not speak to any strangers." "Yes, Mama." Before long, she was in the deepest part of the woods. "Ooh, this is scary." Suddenly, a large wolf appeared. "Good afternoon, my dear. Care to stop for a little chat?" "Oh, gracious me! Mama said not to speak to any strangers." But the wolf had such charming manners. "And where are you going, sweet thing?" "I'm on my way to visit Granny, who lives in the pretty yellow house on the other side of the woods. She's feeling poorly, and I'm taking her a surprise." "You don't say." Just then, he had a delightful idea. "No reason why I can't eat them both. Allow me to escort you. You never know what might be lurking about." "You're too kind." Beyond the forest, they came to a patch of sunflowers. "Why not pick a few? Grannies love flowers, you know." But while Red Riding Hood was picking a pretty bouquet, the clever wolf hurried on ahead to Granny's house. "Who is it?" "It is I, your delicious, darling granddaughter. The door is unlocked." "Surprise!" Granny was furious at having her reading interrupted. out of here, you horrid thing! The wolf gobbled her right up. Didn't even bother to chew. Tasty, so tasty. Just then, he heard footsteps on the garden path. Here comes dessert. Who is it? It is I, your little granddaughter. The door is unlocked. Red Riding Hood was distressed at seeing her grandmother so changed. Why, Granny, what big eyes you have! The better to see you, my dear. And Granny, what long arms you have! The better to hug you, my dear. And Granny, what big teeth you have! The better to eat you, my dear. And he gobbled her right up. I'm so wicked, so wicked. Really, he was enormously pleased with himself, and having enjoyed such a heavy meal, he was soon snoring away. A hunter passing by was alarmed by the frightful racket. That doesn't sound like Granny. And so the brave hunter jumped in the window, killed the sleeping wolf, and cut him open. Out jumped Granny and Red Riding Hood. We're ever so grateful. That wicked wolf won't trouble you again. It was so dark in there, I couldn't read a word. Red Riding Hood promised never, ever to speak to another stranger, charming manners or not. And she never did.
I hope you enjoyed that story of Red Riding Hood. Now we're going to do the activity, which came first. Okay, so we're going to look at these three pictures and see what happened first. I'm going to drag the picture into the yellow box. So what happened first? Red Riding Hood picked sunflowers, the hunter saved Granny and Red Riding Hood, or the wolf got into Granny's bed. So if you remember, Red Riding Hood stopped to pick flowers, and that's when the wolf then went into Granny's bed. So Red Riding Hood picked sunflowers first. Next, the wolf got into Granny's bed. And last, and the way the book ended, the hunter saved Granny and Red Riding Hood. Okay, I'm going to read the book Forest. A forest is an area of land covered with trees. Many different kinds of trees grow in a forest. Evergreen trees grow in some forests. Most evergreen trees have needles for their leaves. The needles do not fall off the trees in autumn. Evergreen forests stay green in winter. Fir, pine, and spruce are some kinds of evergreen trees. Redwood trees are evergreens. The redwood forests in California have the tallest trees in the world. Trees with broad, flat leaves grow in some forests. Most broad, flat leaves change color and fall to the ground in autumn. Most trees with broad, flat leaves are bare in winter. Leaves grow back on the trees in spring and stay green all summer. Oak, maple, and beech are some kinds of trees with broad, flat leaves. Tropical rainforests grow near the equator. These forests always have warm and rainy weather. Tropical rainforests have more kinds of plants and animals than any other place on Earth. All forests have trees that stand high above the ground. The tops of the trees make a ceiling called a canopy. The canopy shades everything below. Smaller trees, bushes, and plants grow in the shade of the canopy. The oldest trees in a forest die and fall to the ground. After they fall, the old trees rot and turn into dirt. New trees sprout in the dirt. Someday, this tree may grow to be the tallest in the forest. Forests give shelter to animals. Birds make their nests in the trees. Forests take a long time to grow. We need to take care of our forest. And that is the end of the book, Forest. So now we're going to do the activity fact or fiction. Okay, so we're going to read the sentence and see if it's fact or fiction. Now remember, fact means something that's true, and fiction is something that is made up, like our story. Many different kinds of trees grow in a forest. Is that fact or fiction? That is fact. Forests take a long time to grow. That is another fact. Wolves can talk to little girls in the forest. Wolves really can't talk, so that was something that's made up, so that is fiction. Forests give shelter to animals. That is very true, so that is a fact. Okay, so now we're going to go over some vocabulary words. Okay, so the word that means wide is broad. Broad means wide. To protect from the sun. If you need protect from the sun, that is shade. Stiff, thin leaves found on evergreen trees are needles. The season between summer and winter is fall, or also known as autumn. Protection. Shelter provides protection. A type of shelter is a house. So we all live in houses. That is a type of protection. And to send out new growth is to sprout. So now in the springtime, we're seeing flowers and leaves and blossoms sprout. Very good. Okay, so we're going to watch the quick video, Forestful Life, and these are some keywords that we are going to hear as we listen to the video. Deciduous, habitat, forest, and leaf litter.
You ready? Let's go!
Forest full of life. A habitat. What's that? It's a place where animals and plants make their home. A forest is a habitat. There are different kinds of forests, but they all have trees. Lots and lots of trees. A forest habitat contains everything animals need to live: food, water, and shelter. In fact, it's like a home with a roof. The tops of the trees protect creatures from the hot sun. It's cool, dark, and quiet inside a forest. This is a deciduous forest. It has trees with broad leaves. Here, you can find animals in the leafy treetops. Further down, animals are on branches and tree trunks. Closer to the ground, animals find food in bushes and flowers around the trees. Now let's go all the way down to the forest floor. At the bottom of the forest, among the mushrooms and moss, is an amazing hidden world. Turn over a rock You may find pill bugs. Touch one, and it rolls into a ball. All the fallen leaves that crunch under your shoes are called leaf litter. Leaves cover the ground, especially in autumn. A snake slithers under the leaf litter. A salamander hunts for worms to eat. Here, a log sits on the forest floor. It holds secrets too. A dead log is full of life, just like the rest of the forest. Lift a log in the forest, and what will you see? Do you see a worm? Do you see a beetle? Or even a millipede with its many, many legs? There are wonderful things to find in a forest habitat.
So now we're going to answer some questions about the video. Okay, so number 1, what is a habitat? Is it a place where plants and animals make their home, a kind of mushroom, or the part of a forest that is cold and dark? What is a habitat? We've learned about a lot of habitats lately, so think about it. A habitat is a place where plants and animals make their homes. All forests have A. Pillbugs, B. Trees, or C. Snakes. What do all forests have? All forests have trees. What part of a forest protects creatures from the hot sun? A. The tops of the trees, B. The forest floor, or C. Mushrooms. So think, what gives off shade? What part of the forest gives off shade? This protects us from the hot sun. It's A, the tops of trees. And number 4, what is leaf litter? A, all the fallen leaves on the forest floor, B, all the critters on the forest floor, or C, the tops of trees? Leaf litter is all the fallen leaves on the forest floor. Number 5, deciduous forests have trees with A, spiky leaves, B, broad leaves, or C, white leaves. Deciduous forests have trees with B, broad leaves. Very good. Now let's move on to our activity. Okay, so our draw and write activity today is My Forest. So you're going to get a piece of paper and draw and label your own forest full of life. So it gives a list of what you can include. You don't have to include all this stuff, or you could include less. So you could put trees. You don't have 6 or more animals. You could just put any animals you want. You could put some water, which is a river, a stream, or a pond. You could put some food for animals or shelter for animals. So you can really pick and choose what you want to put on your paper to draw, and it's whatever you want. Make it creative and make it your own. I made one myself, and I'm going to show it to you. Hi guys! So here is my drawing. I'm not the best artist, so just bear with me. So I made a river, and I labeled it right here, river. I put fish in my river. I made a tree, and that's actually an apple tree I did, because then when the apples fall, the deer can eat the apples. So I made a deer too. And then I put a little cave in the corner, because that's where the bear sleeps. And then I have grass labeled too. So I made sure I included some food for the animals. I included different types of animals. The bears can also eat the fish too, so I thought that was good. And then I labeled it. You don't have to get that, you don't have to put too much into it, and you don't even have to label it. Just make sure you say what you're drawing, okay? So whoever you're with, whatever family member you're with, if you draw a fish, say, I drew a fish. Okay? Have fun with it. Enjoy. That's the end of our science lesson.